Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff on behalf of StriveScan. Certainly want to welcome you to the Mesa Area Virtual College Fair. This evening, we've got 6 institutions we're going to be hearing from. Each will have about 6 minutes, and then we'll have a few minutes at the end for Q&A. I do want to remind all the all the attendees that your cameras are turned off and your microphones are muted. If you'd like to ask a question, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. Without further ado, I will turn it over to the University of Richmond.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kaya Stewart, and I'm an admission counselor at the University of Richmond. Our university is centrally located in the state of Virginia, centrally located on the East Coast. Lots of easy access to a lot of great things, including Washington, D.C., the Blue Ridge Mountains, as well as Virginia Beach. So plenty of things to do within the outskirts of our city. We do have a funding program that we offer for our students that is called something we refer to as the Richmond Guarantee. So that offers up to $4,000 in scholarships offers up to $4,000 in funding for any summer internship or summer faculty-led research. So if you find a summer internship that you're interested in doing, you can apply for the Richmond Guarantee and receive that funding. We just want to make sure that you have that outside of the classroom experience to supplement what you get inside the classroom. We also meet 100% of demonstrated need for our admitted students. And we are also need blind in that admission process. And our students, 2 and 3 students do major and minor across our different schools, so you're able to really customize your educational experience. We do have 3 undergraduate programs for you all to choose from as first-year students: our School of Arts and Sciences, our Jepson School of Leadership Studies, and then our Robbins School of Business. So starting off with our School of Arts and Sciences, this is where about 70% of students do come into our institution. And so this is home to things like humanities, art, social, and physical sciences, and we have 22 departments that are within our School of Arts and Sciences. Shifting into the Jepson School of Leadership Studies, so this is what I like to call Richmond's bread and butter. We were kind of the first undergraduate institution to create this School of Leadership Studies. So students do a lot of critical thinking and analyzing what it means to be an effective leader. And then rounding this off with our Robbins School of Business. So you can choose from our 3 different business degrees: accounting, economics, and business administration. And you'll find different concentrations ranging from marketing to finance underneath that business administration umbrella. And like I said before, you can kind of major and minor in the different schools. You're not restricted to just staying within one. Just kind of an overview of our institution. We are a private liberal arts institution, home to about 3,200 undergraduate students. You do get those very small class sizes and get the opportunity to really know your peers and your professors. 99% of our classes have less than 30 students. And about the average class size at our university is 16 to 17 students. And we also are a very residential campus. So about 90% of our students will live on campus all 4 years. And they really just enjoy the community and that on-campus living experience. We've also got various clubs and organizations to join and opportunities for you to participate in working on campus as a student as well. Here's just some demographic populations from our class of 2025. We do have lots of different states that are represented on our campus, as well as an international population of about 11%. So we do have students coming from all over, with about 600 high schools represented. So you really get the chance to start fresh and meet new people from all over the globe. And then there's just some statistics there on the screen from our last incoming class. As you can see, we had about 29% students, US students of color, and then 14% of students were first generation or first in their family to attend college. And then back to that Richmond Guarantee that I mentioned at the beginning, this is that funding program. And we want you to get that outside of the classroom experience. And so with the Richmond Guarantee, you were able to take advantage of opportunities participating in research or internship. And I do encourage you all to connect with us on our campus, whether that be taking a official campus tour or virtual campus tour. We would love to see you come to campus and feel what it's like to be a Spider. And yeah, thank you all so much.
Thanks, appreciate that, Ms. Stewart. Next up, we have Furman University from South Carolina. As a reminder to all of those in attendance, if you want to ask questions, you can use the Q&A box below at the bottom of the screen to type a question at any time throughout the presentations. Again, Furman University is up next.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Maggie Murphy, and I am the admissions counselor from Furman University, who works with all students and families from the state of Arizona. Thank you for having me tonight. For those of you that don't know, Furman is a private liberal arts school located in Greenville, South Carolina. For some context on our location, we're right in between the middle of Charlotte, North Carolina and Atlanta, Georgia. Both have international airports as far as reaching us, but Greenville also has an international airport as well. We are about 2 hours from the coast or the beach, about an hour from the mountains, so plenty to do on campus and in the surrounding areas. Our student enrollment is 2,600 undergraduate students. And this year we have students from 48 different states in 22 different countries. Those that look at us from the liberal arts perspective consider us to be sort of on the bigger side of small. And we're awfully excited with even with that enrollment to be able to draw students from so many different areas. We do have over 70 different areas of study. Our top 5 most popular would be our health sciences surrounding pre-med and biology. It would also be business, psychology, and political science and international affairs. Our average class size is 14. We do not have any classes that have more than 35 students. And as a matter of fact, this semester, 80% of our classes have 20 or fewer students. So you're going to have a lot of that personalized attention. We actually don't utilize any TAs for class teaching. Instead, it's you interacting with your professors day in and day out. Another thing that makes Furman unique would be that we are 100% residential. Less than 7% of all colleges and universities in the United States are actually 100% residential. And we're very proud of that because of the sense of community our students feel by living on campus all 4 years. Our housing includes everything from your typical dorm rooms to suite style. We have apartment complexes with sand volleyball and grills and other amenities, along with eco cabins on our lake. Our campus is quite large. It's over 700 acres, which houses everything from our academic and residential buildings to all of our athletic facilities, a lake and a golf course. We do have 18 Division I athletic teams, and we are part of the Southern Conference. Looking at our diversity rate and going back to where we draw our students from, including international students, our diversity rate is just under 23%. When looking at some of the things that sets Furman apart, we always refer to the Furman Advantage. What that is essentially 4 promises that we make to each and every student who calls Furman home. First and foremost, you're going to have a personalized 4-year pathway to graduation. We don't do anything in the cookie cutter sense. Instead, we want students to be able to have tailored experiences based on what it is they are trying to achieve and experience at the undergraduate level. And we're able to do this through our high impact engaged learning, through research, internships, and study away. We guarantee access to all of these opportunities, and it doesn't matter what your major is. We conduct undergraduate research across all of our curricular areas. So thinking beyond lab coats and microscopes, you could be doing research in mathematics, you could be doing it in art or theater. It could be across any department, but it's you getting published, it's you conducting the research, and it's you going on to actually present at different national conventions and conferences. Internships are another big part of what we do at Furman. We believe it's extremely important for our students to have access to real life opportunities and get in the business setting and discover what it is exactly that they want to hone their craft in. Or it often serves as a process of elimination and helps students decide what it is they don't want to do. We also have study away opportunities. We call it study away because we do national and international travel. And what's unique about this at Furman is that you go with Furman faculty members and other Furman students, all while having a team of advisors and mentors to work with during your time. And then lastly, we have our leading institutes and centers. This would include our Shy Center for Sustainability. It would include our Riley Institute for Public Policy, and also our Shucker Leadership Institute. Next, taking a look at some of our application materials. We are on the Common App and Coalition app. There is not a separate application for scholarships. We award everywhere from between $5,000 up to a full ride through all of our different scholarships offered through the admissions office. We also have talent-based scholarships for Division I athletics, music, and Army ROTC. And then lastly, if you would like to apply for need-based aid, you can fill out the FAFSA and the CSS profile. One thing I want to mention about the CSS profile is that is often used by private institutions to help determine how to allocate your internal money or institutional aid. Furman's actually part of the Duke Endowment, and we are able to award over $50 million every year to support our students through scholarships and grants. Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie. Appreciate that very much. Next up, we have High Point University.
Hi everyone, my name is Brooke Cavallo with High Point University. I am your admissions counselor if you live in the state of Arizona, and I also am a graduate of High Point University. So at High Point, we are located in North Carolina, but 80% of our students come from out of state. And we want to focus on these 4 pillars to help you become successful after your undergraduate experience. So firstly, we focus on academic excellence and making sure no matter what you major in, you're getting that strong academic coursework. And then we want to go beyond that with having experiential learning in every single major, which is just a fancy way of saying getting outside the classroom, jumping into internships and hands-on learning opportunities. Next, we focus on life skills. So making sure that you have the skills to know how to network and really sell yourself on any dream job opportunities. And lastly, we want to model values and build character so that you're also just a good person overall. These are our top 10 freshman majors. The most popular one is undeclared for our freshmen. So it's no mistake that's listed first. We have something called Project Discovery, which you can certainly chat me to learn more about, but that helps our students that are undecided figure out what's going to be the best career path for you based on personality assessment tests, strengths that you have, interests that you have. We really make sure our students feel supported in finding the right fit for them. And then the rest of these are really strong programs, but it's really just that these are the most popular areas we see students have an interest in. When it comes to experiential learning, we have state-of-the-art academic facilities. So right here, you're looking at the Culp Planetarium on our campus, where students will experience the solar system, the ins and outs of the human body. But we also have the Kane Conservatory on our campus, a human biomechanics lab, news and radio studios for our communication majors, a BBT and executive boardroom for our sales and business students to use. And no matter what you're studying, we wanted to make sure we had classes remain in person. So you had that experiential learning and the connection with your professors on our campus. So we have a 15:1 student faculty ratio, 100% taught by faculty. So no TAs at High Point. We guarantee you're going to graduate in 4 years. And we also offer now a tuition-free 5th-year master's if you want to stay on for that. Success coaches are assigned to every single student their freshman year to help you get acclimated. You can kind of think of them as a life coach, mentor, mom and dad away from home, all built into that one go-to person to help you with your freshman year, whether that's building your class schedule, getting a job on campus, getting involved, whatever it is you want to do with your college experience. We believe strongly that mentorship matters at High Point. So we have people like Byron Pitts here working with our communication students who's worked for ABC and NBC News, and then all kinds of industry leaders like him in each major. We also have a guaranteed internship no matter what you major in at High Point University. We also have student teaching opportunities for our education majors. That's what I studied at High Point, and I was in the classroom all 4 years starting freshman year. And even when I studied abroad in England, they set me up an internship teaching in another country. So really big on hands-on learning. And like I said, those mentors, we have innovators on campus, like in the top left-hand corner, that's Mark Randolph, the co-founder of Netflix. The bottom left, you'll see Cint Marshall, the CEO of the Dallas Mavericks. And then the bottom right-hand corner, that's Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple. So he was the one that founded that with Steve Jobs. And these are all individuals that want to give back to you as a college student and help you foster your dreams and make those become a reality. When we talk about life skills, we focus on your ability to network and really just jump into any opportunity to sell yourself or really build your resume and be able to go network and grab a lunch or dinner with a colleague or somebody that has a connection at a company you'd like to work for. So we have this as part of our day-to-day life on campus where students, including in their meal plan, they have this steakhouse option where they have to practice time management, make a reservation. You go with your friends or classmates. You don't need to go with professors or anything like that, but you're practicing fine dining, knowing what fork to use, how to order a bottle of wine for the table. That way you're not tripping over yourself or, knowing how to dress for certain roles when you graduate. We are a Division I school, so really vibrant student life. We have tons of ways to get involved, whether that's intramural, club sports, Greek life, religious groups, volunteer opportunities, whatever it is you want to get involved in, we probably already have it on campus. We are open for applications already this fall. So if you're interested in learning more, certainly jump on our website. I won't quiz you at the end to know all these dates. They are listed on there. Next steps, I would say, is to connect with me, your admissions counselor, take our virtual tours, or come see us in person. And I am also hosting admissions interviews right now. If you want to set one of those up, please just take down my contact information. I will pop it in the chat. And that's all from High Point University.
Thanks so much, Brooke. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Campbell University.
Thank you so much. So my name is Kate Bissio. I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor at Campbell University. Thank you so much for allowing us to have the opportunity to sort of share a little bit about a place that feels like home to me. And I hope that after these few slides, you feel compelled to apply and come visit us and hopefully take the opportunity to make Campbell your home as well. So a little bit about our location at Campbell University. We are located in the town of Buies Creek, which is right in the heart of North Carolina. We are located about 30 miles south of Raleigh and 30 miles north of Fayetteville. We are about 2 hours from the mountains and 1.5 hours from the coast. We are positioned conveniently right outside of the Research Triangle, so great for job and internship opportunities, but definitely a great spot to spend your 4 years, if not even a little more time. But definitely, like I said, if you have the chance to come visit us in the creek, we absolutely hope that you will do so. So a little bit about Campbell. We do have 4,000 undergraduate students and 2,000 graduate students. We have 150 different majors, tracks, and concentrations for our students to pick here at Campbell. Out of those majors, though, our top ones at the moment are health sciences, pre-law, business, and engineering. A lot of our students at Campbell are very grad school focused, so we do offer a lot of those pre-professional tracks for our students, and they can actually transition to those graduate programs right on our campus at Campbell. We did just graduate our first round of engineers in 2020, so it was a monumental year for us and super exciting. We also do have a graduate law school located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Any students that graduate from Campbell that meet our law school acceptance requirements do have first seat acceptance into our law program, and those students do also receive $10,000 a year to offset the cost of tuition in law school. And we also do have the only school of osteopathic medicine in the state of North Carolina located right on our campus. So anything we can do to prepare you for those next steps, we will absolutely do so. And then I do have some information there about some extracurricular activities, but I am going to touch base on those later on in the presentation. So a little bit about our demographics at the school. So our average student at Campbell does have a 3.3 average unweighted GPA. Like I mentioned, with that 4,000 undergraduate students, it does allow us to have a class size of about 20 to 25. So probably similar to what you're used to in high school, and we find that it does work out really well for our students. We do have a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so plenty of faculty to go around for all of our students on campus. And 83% of our faculty do have the highest degree in their field of study. Like other schools mentioned as well, we do tend to shy away from TAs, and we do like that professor to be the one leading your education at Campbell and providing you with that curriculum. So that environment, that smaller class size, and having that wealth of knowledge right at your fingertips does help to be a great environment for all of our students that allows them to build networks and close relationships with all of their professors and peers. Like I mentioned, our students really do thrive in that type of environment. So if that's what you think you'll work well in, definitely feel free to come visit us here at Campbell. A little bit about our admissions requirements. This is where I will come into play. Like I mentioned, I am an admissions counselor, but I am particularly the admissions counselor for the state of Arizona. So this year, we do realize that COVID did affect students very differently, whether it was inside of the classroom or outside of the classroom. So I always like to start by mentioning that our application is free. It is free all year round. So if you have the chance, definitely take the time to apply. This year for admissions requirements, we are only looking for your official high school transcript. We are test optional, so no need to submit ACT or SAT scores. And we also do not need an essay or a letter of recommendation. If you have them and you would like to send them over, we will absolutely read them. SAT scores and ACT scores, if you do send them, they can be used for class placement purposes. But if you don't send them over, we will just have you take a placement test between the end of high school and the start of your classes at Campbell. We are looking at students on a case-by-case basis. So our GPA requirement does vary depending on the student, but we are looking into students individually. Like I said, we do understand that this year was tough for some students. So definitely do not hesitate to send in that application. And if you do feel that maybe your GPA is on the lower end and you would like to send in an essay to sort of explain how maybe the last year impacted your studies, we would be happy to read any essay and discuss that process with you. So moving on to financial aid, all of our students that are accepted into Campbell do receive a merit-based scholarship based on their unweighted GPA. This year, that scholarship range is ranging from $10,000 to $24,000. So definitely a wide range of opportunity. We also do offer need-based scholarships as well. So after the completion of the FAFSA, there are a lot of families, even those that don't believe that they'll qualify, that absolutely do. So definitely fill out that FAFSA. I'm sure a ton of people have told you already, and definitely look into any outside scholarships, and we do offer departmental scholarships as well. So student activities at Campbell, we do have 100 clubs and organizations, our 21 Division I athletic programs being the most popular. So even though we are a small school, we do have that bigger school feel, but our students at Campbell are always busy. So definitely look into those extracurriculars. And our new student union, it's home to our new dining hall, movie theater, fitness center. So definitely keeping up with the changing interests of our students. So feel free to come visit us and check out this new space. But like I mentioned, I'm your admissions counselor in the state of Arizona. So if you need anything, here's my contact info. I'll also drop it in the chat, but definitely feel free to fill out that application and come visit us if you get the chance. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Appreciate that. Final institution this evening is North Carolina State University.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to today's session. And thank you so much for being interested in these awesome institutions. I'm excited to speak with you today. My name is Jacqueline Lopez. I'm an assistant director at NC State's Office of Undergraduate Admissions, or North Carolina State University. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our academics and who we are as an institution and what you can expect as a future NC State student. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me actually set my timer before I do. Okay, so all right, y'all. Who we are a public four-year university located in Raleigh, North Carolina, so way over on the East Coast, but we are the capital of our state. So this is advantageous for students for a number of different reasons. I'll go ahead and talk about those throughout the presentation, but something important to also know about NC State is that we are the largest university in North Carolina. Still pretty small compared to other schools in other states, but we have a total of 36,000 students at NC State in total. 24,000 of those students are undergraduate students, so students pursuing their bachelor's degree. But despite this, we do try our best to make campus feel like a small campus community for our students. And this can be reflected in our 35 average student class size, or our 14:1 student to faculty ratio. So you'll still have that small class experience while you are at such a large institution, which is something that our students really do enjoy. We are also a tier 1 research institution, which means that all of our professors are involved in doing research in their field of expertise. But what that means for you as a student is that you can get involved in doing research in your field. And this can be as early as your first year. And it can be in the sciences with test tubes and chemicals, but it can be outside and testing dirt and soil and plants, or looking through historical documents, whatever fits your academic major. And speaking of majors, we do have over 100 of them. So something to know about our school is that we are STEM based, so mainly known for science, technology, engineering, and math. However, we're not STEM exclusive. I'll talk a little bit more about majors on the next slide, but we do have so many to choose from, and I'll tell you why it's important to think about that early on. We do have over 200 study abroad programs in case you're interested in taking your experiences outside of the classroom. We do have over 80 different we have partnerships with over 80 different countries around the world. And finally, we are a top 10 best value institution for students both in and out of state. In fact, for out of state students, we're actually nationally ranked in the top 10 for best value institutions, public universities for out of state students. All right, now this is where I want to talk about our academic program. So I did mention that we have over 100 different majors at NC State. We are known for STEM, and this on the screen, you can see our top majors that students are currently coming to NC State for. We are a big engineering school with over 16 different engineering majors. However, we were also founded on agriculture, so that is a big field that we have here as well. But we do have every major academic discipline and over 100 majors to choose from. So a little bit unique about NC State is that we actually have students apply directly into the major that you're interested in. So upon being admitted to NC State, you're actually admitted directly into your academic program as well. And you'll start on that as early as your first year. So we do encourage you to just take a look at what we have and what may interest you. So that way you'll know what to put down and what you could see yourself happy with and maybe even graduating with upon arriving to NC State. But with that said, we do have our exploratory studies program, which is listed right here, which is our completely undecided major. And now I want to talk to you all about how our applications are reviewed, but also how you can prepare to submit yours. So we do have a very holistic application review process, which means that everything that you are reporting is important and is considered. These are a couple of the highlights. So first and foremost, we are looking at academic achievement. So how you're doing in high school. Our strongest applicants are making A's and B's in their classes with mostly A's and taking advantage of those rigorous courses that are offered through your high school. So whether your school offers AP, IB, dual enrollment, not only will this look good on a college application, but y'all, this will prepare you for the rigor of college courses. NC State is test optional for this year. So if you are a high school senior, you can decide whether or not you'd like your test scores to be considered as part of your application review process. If you are a junior, sophomore, or first year student in high school, this is a decision that will be revisited by the state of North Carolina a little bit closer to next semester, but we'll keep you updated. Your interest in the program that you're applying for is important because you are applying directly into your major. We don't want to just see that you like it, but we want to see that you're academically prepared for it. Your accomplishments and involvements outside of the classroom. This is where we see your clubs, your job, your sports, your household responsibilities, your hobbies that you have, though we do understand that this last year and a half looked really weird for all students. And so your extracurriculars may not look the same as they did 2 or 3 years ago. Your application will be reviewed with your background and opportunities in mind, which means that we know that not all high schools are the same and they won't all be reviewed in the same way. We'll review your application within the context of what's offered to you. And finally, we do require some essays, and this is so that we can get to know you outside of your academics, your test scores, and your involvements. But that is it, y'all. That is all of the information that I have for you. I do encourage you to visit our website to learn more about NC State as well as how to apply if you're interested. And we have our information here on the screen, which I'll also drop down in the chat box in case you have any additional questions, but also feel free to use that Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen to ask any questions that you may have.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Appreciate that. Well, we've still got a few minutes left here this evening. I thought I'd invite all the representatives back on screen and we'll go through a couple of questions here. And I guess the first one I want to ask them to answer for us is, what is the one thing you want us to remember about your institution tonight? So why don't we present or answer in the order we presented? So we'll let the University of Richmond go first.
Yes, one thing that I want you all to remember about our institution is we do have that funding program called the Richmond Guarantee. So we want you all to get that outside of the classroom experience, whether that be through an internship or through research, and take advantage of that opportunity that we have for you to have that funding over the summer for those experiences.
Perfect. And then Furman.
Thanks, Jeff. The one thing that I would love everybody to take away from tonight is the opportunity for engagement at Furman. We refer to it as the Furman Advantage because we hear back from employers and graduate schools how these high impact practices at the undergraduate level, how they translate into opportunities post undergraduate degree earning. And so we want our students to be engaged in different things. We have a 92% engagement as far as involvement goes. And the university is going to support these students with Furman grants to help them offset not taking a job while they're doing research, or if they're taking an unpaid internship, that they still have the opportunity to make money during that time because of the value of those experiences.
Perfect. Thank you, Maggie. High Point University.
Yeah, I would say High Point's focus on life skills. And so we want to make sure that no matter what you choose to study or what career path you feel a passion for, you have those life skills that are going to set you apart when it comes to landing that dream job. You know, pretty much everybody's going to college now. It used to be that having that degree in hand would land you the job and impress your future employer, but now that's kind of the minimum. So we want to make sure that we're really helping you to build a unique set of skills and be able to network. So if you're somebody who kind of identifies with that message and wants to focus on being a really well-rounded individual, that's what stands out to me about High Point is the opportunity to learn that every day. Like I said, at the steakhouse, you get that filet mignon as a college campus student, which is pretty amazing, but there is thought behind it and wanting to make sure that we're really preparing you for what it's going to be like when you graduate and how to network and really not only have that strong resume, but sell yourself as well.
Thanks, Brooke. Kate, what about Campbell University?
Yeah, so I think if there's anything about Campbell that sticks out to me is even though we are a Christian university, that Christian background is not meant to indoctrinate anybody into that religion. We're welcoming everybody with open arms. And although we are a smaller school, like I mentioned, with those 150 different academic programs and hundreds of extracurriculars, we do have that bigger school feel. So whatever it is that you're looking to study or be when you grow up, we can definitely have the means to get you to that point.
Very good. And then wrap us up, Jacqueline, with this question from NC State.
Sounds good. So an important thing to know about NC State is that we are within what Kate actually mentioned is called the research triangle. So a lot of schools do have this advantage, and it's actually comparable to the Silicon Valley. So this provides so many professional opportunities for students and internships and co-ops and just shadowing and being exposed to these professional opportunities, which is really, really awesome. It can really help you as you're navigating that process of post-graduation and you're looking for that job or you're applying to that graduate's program. The experiences and the professional opportunities that you're able to have here are truly not only abundant, but they are accessible for students within distance.
Very nice. Well, we've got some more time. Why don't we do another one? Let's go with, what is the one piece of advice that you would give students going through the college search process?
The one piece of advice that I would give students is to visit campuses. I think it's great to, do the virtual tours and any virtual experience that a campus can offer. But I think being on the campus physically, especially during when school is in, if you can, just to kind of get the vibe, if you will, of the campus and of the students and how students interact with each other and what it's like being on that campus. And you really get the sense of community, at any campus that you visit. So definitely take advantage of those on-campus experiences.
Perfect.
I would add, yes, it is extremely important to visit campuses because there's nothing quite like actually seeing and feeling the vibe that's available on campus. The other thing that I would add is just being true to yourself. This is not a contest. You're looking for the best fit for you. So as you're looking and researching schools, I always suggest creating sort of like 3 columns. What are your must-haves for that school? And then what are the would be nice or the bonus features? And then lastly, you could sort of have it doesn't matters. But what you need to remember is obviously you're there for academic reasons. However, you're going to be living at that place for 4 years. And so you also want to pay attention to the opportunities that are available and that interest you based on who you are as a person, not only academically, and what opportunities are going to be available for you to plug into, whether it's volunteering, whether it's recreation, it could be an extension of the classroom, whatever that case is, just make sure you're looking at the entire picture.
Thank you, Maggie. Brooke, what do you think?
So I would say this is kind of a curveball answer, but I would say to really just focus on enjoying your senior year. I think this is like such a stressful time for students, or even junior year. I know it starts early, the stress and pressure, but especially senior year, it goes by so fast. So don't be someone that's working on applications on Friday nights or on Saturdays when you could be hanging out with your friends and really soaking up that time, making memories, going to homecoming and football games and all that good stuff. It just goes by in the blink of an eye. So really know that we know you're working hard on your college applications. Utilize us to support that. If you have questions, don't waste time trying to figure it out. You can always reach out to any of us at any university. That's what we're here for. And use your weekends and your free time to just enjoy with your friends and your family.
Very good. Kate, what do you think?
Yeah, so this is actually one of my favorite questions when I get asked it. I always tell students that when you go to a college fair, I find that a lot of students sort of show up with a game plan, like, hey, I'm going to go to these 3 tables and then mom and dad, we can head out. I always recommend to students, if you have the time, swing by every table or every other table, whatever you have time for, because you never know when you're going to miss something at a small school or even a big school that you never thought of. I mean, I know personally, I applied to a small liberal arts school in Pennsylvania, and I applied to the University of Miami in Florida. So, I mean, definitely 2 different ends of the spectrum that you can run into at a college fair. But to sort of piggyback off of what Brooke said, whatever's meant to happen will happen during this time. You'll absolutely find a place that feels like home to you. And I always throw into, even though Campbell doesn't require an essay, if you're applying to a school that requires one, definitely proofread what you're writing. That's super important. I've run into it a few times seeing it, but definitely wish you guys the best of luck and definitely enjoy the experience for sure.
Jacqueline, wrap us up here.
All right. I would honestly say, y'all, like, remember the power that you are holding in this whole like situation. So there's usually 3 parts to the admissions process, and that is creating your application and submitting it, colleges providing you with their decisions, and then you choosing a school. 2 out of 3 of those are in your hands, and you have the power to dictate these things. So remember that, remember your worth, and remember that you have so much more power in these situations, or in this situation, in this whole year that you are going through, than you may realize. So that's something important to know and to move forward with, that any decisions that you may receive from college don't define you. They don't mean, or they're not like, it's not a personal thing. I don't know how else to really say that, but remember your power in this process and in this year as you're navigating this, and you will be where you need to be no matter what.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Well, to all those that are presenting tonight, thank you so much for your time. I'm sure that the attendees and those that will see this later appreciate your time and efforts. To all those that attended, thank you so much for visiting with us this evening. There will be a brief survey afterwards. We'd certainly appreciate you filling that out. There are 2 more sessions tonight if you'd like to hear from additional institutions. And then as you might or might not know, these are all recorded, so you can watch them later if you have additional information or questions to get. On behalf of StriveScan and the 5 institutions, thanks so much for joining us, and have a great rest of your evening, everybody. Bye-bye.